Welcome to our second annual oratorical presentation sponsored by the Bethel Enrichment Center. I am Dr. Kim LEWTER.
And I am Geraldine Hammond.
And we are excited once again to bring you a compilation of some of Cabarrus County's most talented youth who will be bringing to you excerpts and quotes from Dr. Martin Luther King, which they have organized and designed into their own special messages for us on this King holiday.
And I know most of us can recollect and think about all the things that Dr. King did, all of the speeches that he made, all of the sacrifices, the blood, the sweat, and the tears. And actually, this May, it will be the 54th anniversary of his death. And that was such a sad and a trying time for us. But we have young people who have caught a hold of his dream, and they're living it out. They are passionate, and they are so awesome when it comes to speaking of the things that he wanted and the things that he desired for us to have. And I don't know about anybody else, but I am so excited, and I can't wait to hear from them. If you were here last year, then you know you're in for a treat. If this is your first year, then I ask you to buckle your seatbelts because we're going for a ride.
Well, how awesome is it that in 2022, the dream still lives, and not only does it live, but we are actualizing the dream with all of the wonderful things that are happening right here in Kannapolis, North Carolina.
Yes.
So if you are ready, we want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because these young people are about to knock it out the box.
All right.
Dr. King stated, "People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. We all live our lives as if there is a permanent divide and we each have our own side. We all grew up differently, so why even try? It's like a bird trying to fly with just one wing. That's something I can honestly say has not been seen. We speak on what's controversial and then wash our hands clean. A lot of us wait for that one time of year to talk about a dream, but not many of us think about what that truly means. Please tell me if something isn't trending on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, it goes unnoticed, and we tiptoe around conversations unsure of how to approach it, putting the blame on others, but what are we doing? That thought process seems to be ghosted. Claiming to be woke, but only getting updated on situations by what your favorite influencer has posted. I hear too much "what's up my N-word" instead of "what's up my king." Constantly playing as if we're on opposite teams. We can't get anywhere if everyone has secret agendas and personal schemes. All I'm saying is that a dream without action is dead. Show it in what you do and not the things that you have said. Because the world is not changed by social status or likes. We need more than someone in a Black Lives Matter t-shirt holding a mic. All of society needs to be rerouted. Right now it's a us against them mentality. Our conscience is callous. It's simple. We either all stand or we all fall. Let's start somewhere, big or small. In the words of Dr. King, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. In all, just keep your eyes on what you were pursuing. No matter what, just don't stop the movement. Because keep in mind, even a single step is an improvement.
The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." In 2020, our world was flipped in a way that was unexpected. We entered a global pandemic. Our normal was changed and halted. Lives were lost and our country was divided. It seemed that 2021 was the world's chance to move forward again. Churches and schools began to open up, Broadway and businesses were operating again, and society began to function with our new normal. With life being back in full swing, 2021 presented the year with many new obstacles and challenges, but we kept moving forward. In order to successfully move forward, we need to continue to have faith. Faith in our future, the uncertain, and at the times when we're presented with the obstacle. Dr. King had tremendous faith. faith in a movement that would be dangerous for anyone who participated. The outcome of the civil rights movement at the time was uncertain. There, of course, was a wanted result: to live in a world where everyone would look past the color of one's skin and be judged based off the content of one's heart and character. But the possibility of the outcome wasn't promised. However, Dr. King and the other leaders kept their faith and worked hard to try and better our society. This wasn't easy. There were many setbacks that the leaders faced: jail time, constant fear, and sadly the death of the innocent and the dream seekers. But the movement kept moving forward. Change can't come without hard work and sacrifice. The constant sacrifice of the civil rights leaders changed the course of history. Because of their sacrifice, society was able to advance and move forward in a way our ancestors could only imagine. As we move into 2022, we have to continue to keep our faith while we move forward. If you struggle with obstacles, never give up. When the hardships of life present itself, keep trying. Never relinquish a task when the outcome is uncertain. Always remember, Cabarrus County: if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." To me, this quote means that a man shall be judged by his actions under pressure and how he solves his problems, not by his actions and the things that he may say when things are smooth riding, so to speak. Martin Luther King Jr. is a great example of a man who was judged by where he stood in times of hardship and not in times of contentment. When society beat him, spit on him, and cursed his name, he kept his head held high and remained nonviolent. He soon became known as a man who was peaceful and humble. In order to better understand this quote, you could even imagine yourself on a bus leaving work one day in Montgomery, Alabama. While sitting on the bus, you see a young lady named Rosa Parks, who, when a white man approached her and attempted to take her seat from her, she responded with a firm no. Soon the cops came and Miss Park was arrested. She could have fought against the cops or even been rude to the man, but she kept her composure and went to jail. Sometimes it isn't what you say, but how you say it. And Miss Park's choice to go high when others chose to go low allowed her to have a pivotal impact on American history. As a human race, we must make sure that we do what is right amid troubles and when we think things are peaceful. We have to remain aware of our actions when we are mad or frustrated because we never know who may be watching. We also never know how our actions may impact other people. In life, adversity is going to come. We can't control what other people do, but we can control how we respond in those situations. Employers do not want to hire someone who isn't able to control their temper, but would rather hire someone that is able to approach the situation appropriately and is solution-oriented. When college scouts observe players in a game, they're looking to see if the player can stay calm during the game or if they're quick to lose their cool because something didn't go their way. We must learn to assess the situations that we are faced with and become wiser problem solvers. We must always have the courage to stand up for what we believe to be right, but we have to make sure we do it in a peaceful manner. No one will take us seriously if we are yelling or fighting, but if we simply say enough is enough and work towards a goal, we can accomplish great things. For future generations to fully grow and prosper, we have to model what it looks like to be brave, stand up for what we believe in, but do it in a way that remains true to our morals and values. In conclusion, we must always remember that doing nothing is easy, but what we do when faced with adversity determines your true character.
Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools." What this quote means to me is no matter how hard or how frustrating life is, we must always stick together. You can always argue and get nowhere, or stand with and stand up for each other and fight for what is right.
or just lend a helping hand. For example, racial discrimination and police encounters. After George Floyd died, you saw people from all different races and backgrounds protesting for what is right. This shows how we stuck together in a difficult time period.
Martin Luther King once said, "We will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." How I interpret this quote: I feel everyone has been in a situation where they felt this way. When you look back over your life, you realize how your friend group gets smaller and question why that is. Maybe it was because of a situation you were in where you needed the support from your friends, but nobody was there for you to lean on, even encourage you through your situation, or just be the shoulder to cry on. Situations I can relate to as well as my peers are when you're at school and people are talking about you, whispering, gossiping, and spreading awful rumors, and you're looking to your friends to speak up and defend you, but they have nothing to say. You gradually forget your enemies and how they talk down on you, even about you, but you forever remember the hurt from your friends, people, peers, family members who claim to be there for you, not standing by and supporting you when you needed them. Social media has a big impact on life today. It is not okay for any older person to post your child doing something good at school, but when people decide to riot our capital, you have nothing to say nor post. So America, North Carolina, Cabarrus County, those under the sound of my voice, we do not remember the words of people who are not for us, but we do always remember the silence of our communities and friends when wrong is done.
Hi, my name is Ayana. We must learn how to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Quoted by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., March 22, 1964, St. Louis, Missouri. Civil rights activist Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave a speech about living in peace with one another. In my opinion, we shouldn't treat people differently because of our skin color, status, or gender. Most recently, police brutality has increased in harassment, killings of blacks and browns, talks of war between different countries, and a lack of access to good housing, schools, and neighborhoods. For example, at age 11, I witnessed being stopped by the police after being followed 2 times. The first time was with a relative, and the second time was with my mother's friend. Another example at age 12, recently a fellow classmate told me, "Pick my cotton, nigger." In that moment, I wanted to go across that table and slap the little common sense she had left out of her. To begin with, at age 12, I had never picked cotton a day in my life, thanks to our ancestors and civil rights leaders. Second, I thought to myself, not only are you half black, you do not own a single piece of land, much less cotton for me to pick. Finally, our ancestors were slaughtered and whipped over the same cotton you're joking about. Honestly, it's a disgrace and disgusting. I had a choice to match ignorance with ignorance, but instead I chose to match ignorance with peace. Proverbs 29 verse 18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people will perish." And yes, that verse does relate to this quote because God and Dr. King are trying to say, where there is no peace, there is violence and conflict. Take a moment and think about what you would have done if you were me. Visualize yourselves having a healthy and uncomfortable conversation with the people who are uneducated and lack awareness. Moving forward, I will continue to strive to match ignorance with peace. What about you?
Well, wasn't that awesome?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I am just blown away about the talent and the compassion. Oh, my goodness.
I am never disappointed when the young people in our community get together and showcase their talent. What an intelligent, diligent, just fantastic group of youth who we are excited represent our future.
And we must thank you, parents, because I know it may have taken a little pushing, a little encouragement, but you guys have done an incredible job. Kudos to you. And thank you so much for sacrificing your time. There are probably other things you could have done or would like to have done, but thank you for hanging in here with us, and I'm sure that it was worth your while.
Thank you, everyone, and a special thanks to the MLK Planning Committee for just all of these wonderful activities that we get to participate in over this MLK weekend. Take care now.
See you next year.